What's up, everybody? This is Edgar with Jameson Digital, and today I'm going to start it out with something a little less positive, unfortunately. So you may have heard in the news lately that there's a new ransomware. That ransomware is called, well, WannaCryptor, or some people are dubbing it Wannacry. However, it is probably the fastest spreading piece of ransomware out there. It's faster than pretty much anything else that's been spread recently. The big deal about this one is that it started out and has primarily focused on the healthcare industry and banking industries. Now, this doesn't mean that a private individual could not be affected, but it does mean that your data needs to be taken care of. It means that you need to make sure that you have solid backups of your data. Excuse me, it's still early in the morning. My coffee hasn't really kicked in yet. Anyways, data backups are extremely important, not only for businesses, but for individuals as well. I say that because you never know when something like this is going to happen. As a business, you should always have backups of every bit of your data, and I'm not talking one copy. I'm talking 2 or 3 different copies stored in different locations, because the last thing you want to do is be taken back to square zero. Now, yes, an attack like this can be detrimental to a business, but with solid backups and a plan in place, you can recover. Now, when you look at how this is being spread, there's really no direct correlation to anything. One of the most common ways for any type of malware or ransomware to spread is through email, or downloads, or clicking on links online, or even pictures online that have been linked to something else that is not so friendly. So one way you can check that is if you were to place your mouse over top of a link, on the bottom left-hand side of your browser, you're going to notice a URL or a web address. Read that web address, and if it looks odd or does not point directly to the website that you're trying to access or that you are familiar with, then stray away. Or another way would be through infected documents from cloud services like Google Docs or OneDrive or the Microsoft Online components for things like 365. Now, I'm not saying that these are surefire ways for this infection to spread, but what I am saying is that there is a lot of possibility for attacks like this. In fact, this specific malware has locked down several health organizations around the world, as well as banking institutions, and they are holding their data for ransom. In some cases, they are able to completely scrub their machines and quickly reload and launch and get back up and running. However, with major organizations like a hospital, that does a lot more damage than anything, because that prevents machines from working properly. That prevents a lot of activities from being performed, like surgeries, like, well, in the banking institution, that locks down your ATMs, that locks down your bank accounts. It drains funds from the bank. Being everything is going electronic now, that's one of the worst things out there. This new ransomware has just recently surfaced, and it's definitely a very fast-moving and dangerous piece of software. If you missed the beginning of this live video, when I post it, go back, take a listen through, let me know your thoughts, your concerns, and if you need help with your data, be sure to contact a trusted local tech support individual, whether it be a place like Mortenson's or myself. I can help you, or anyone else in the IT field that is proficient with this type of information. This is Edgar with Jameson Digital with a 5-minute short on the new Wannacry Ransomware. Hopefully, we don't see any tears anytime soon. Thanks for your time. You guys have a great day.
And unencrypted. Of course, there's no guarantee that that will happen. This ransomware has affected 114,000 computers worldwide in just the past 24 hours. The ransomware is infecting and targeting basically Windows 7 computers, Windows Vista, and Windows XP. Hi, Sibby. Nice to see you. And Windows Server 2008 machines. In an unprecedented move, Microsoft has released patches today for Windows XP and Windows Vista. Windows 10 right now is kind of on the safe side. Windows 8, I'm not sure where it stands. I haven't been able to find any information about that. The ransomware is being spread through a phishing attack, which is basically email that you receive in your inbox that has an attachment. So it's really, really important that you do not open attachments in your email unless you know who they're coming from. Some of the big companies that have been affected, FedEx was affected pretty heavily, and in the UK, the National Health Service was infected really heavily. In fact, they had to cancel surgeries because of this ransomware attack. So what can you do to protect yourself? Hi, Suzanne. Hi, Diane. Hi, Shannon. Steps to protect yourself. You want to keep your operating system on your computer up to date. And, as soon as those patches are released, you want to install them. Stop using Windows XP and Windows Vista. I can't emphasize that enough. If you have those machines, unplug them from the internet. Do not attach them to the internet because they will be affected. Make sure your firewall is turned on. A few notes about firewalls. Windows has a built-in firewall. You can access that in the control panel and turn it on or off. If you go into your firewall in the Windows control panel and you see it's off, also check your antivirus software, because a lot of antivirus packages have a built-in firewall, and once that is invoked, then the Windows firewall will be turned off. Hi, Gail. You want to make sure that your antivirus software is kept up to date. You also want to make sure that you back up your data on a regular basis, and by that I'm going to say use the 3-2-1 backup method. If your data is important to you, you want 3 copies of your data with using 2 different backup sources, and with at least one of those backup sources being off-site. So the first copy of your data is the data on your computer. The second copy of your data could be a USB backup drive that's attached to your computer. Now, those USB backup drives can be affected by ransomware. So the third method, the offsite, you want to have an online backup method. I'm really adamant about that. And be really suspicious of documents that you receive via email. Don't click on them. In fact, if you receive a document, an email from somebody, you might want to call them and say, hey, did you send this to me? Or was it spoofed? You can never be too cautious about that. What else can you do? My DivaCare customers are fully protected by this. Basically, this ransomware is exploiting a vulnerability in the Microsoft operating system. And Microsoft actually released a patch for this back in March. So the first thing I did when I found out about that this morning was I went into my DivaCare portal and made sure all of those computers were fully patched. There was only one computer in my DivaCare portal that was not patched, and that's only because that computer is mainly turned off, so it hasn't had the opportunity to actually be patched. So you might want to consider becoming a DivaCare customer if ransomware viruses are kind of on your radar screen and you're really concerned about that. If you are not a DivaCare customer, the other thing you can do is install Malwarebytes Pro on your system. Malwarebytes Pro is the only version of Malwarebytes, hi Julie, that will protect you against ransomware. Most antivirus software packages will not protect you. So what can you do to get that on your system? I actually have a special running right now that will give you your Malwarebytes Pro license. I will install it for you. I will scan your computer for malware, and I will also do a full tune-up on your computer. It's $99, and it's well worth the cost. All you have to do is go, hey Ginger, all you have to do is go to computerdiva.biz and click on the big green Make an Appointment Online button, and choose you want awesome remote service, and then choose the Diva TuneUp /Malwarebytes option. And that will allow you to go in and set up a time on my calendar to get that software installed and get you protected and get that Malwarebytes on there and get a full tune-up at the same time. So with that, I want to thank everybody for listening and have a fabulous day. Hi, Cody. Bye.